Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys this week I did for my mom. Guys, my mom is generally not a weak person, so she really wanted something really simple and she did not want a human hair wig. So I actually used synthetic hair and I had to fake the closure since she didn't want human hair. So to begin this week, I started from behind and I'm not really going to show you guys much of the back because for the back, all you need to know is you have to space out the back and you have to space out the wave. Don't make it too close because the front is going to cover the back, and besides, you don't want to use up all your hair at the back and then the front is empty. So I'm just going to skip to the top. For the top part, I just started sewing, and remember that when you're sewing your wig, you have to sew on the weft itself because when you sew on the weft itself, the wig actually lasts longer. But you can sew the hair, but it all depends on you. But I think if you sew on the weft itself, it's going to last longer. And I think another important thing you need to know about doing your own hair is at the beginning of the hair, remember to knot your thread so it doesn't come out. I think that's it for the important aspects for now. And another thing is when you're doing your hair, remember that as you get in towards the top, try to make the hair really close. Like try to sew your lace really close together around the top, because that you don't want the hair to you don't want someone to want to look at your hair and the person sees small spaces inside, so you have to make it really close. And I think that's it for. But if you need to know any other thing about wig, I have a video that shows everything you need to know about wig, so you can just check amongst my videos. You're going to see a video like that. So any other tricks you need to know when you're sewing your hair, you can actually check that out in my other video. So I'm just gonna continue sewing this hair. My mom is very complicated. Like she wanted a side part wig, and she did not want the line to be really big, so I had to make a closed side part wig. Also, she wanted the hair to be really light and small. So I just had to come up with something that matches her expectations. Well, I hope she's gonna like it though, because my mom, I just hope she's gonna like it. Since she's hired to do a week this time, I want it to be really at least what she likes. Well, you guys can watch. If you think I should have added or taken out anything, you can always leave that in the comments. I'm open to all suggestions. You can leave that in the comments. To achieve this look, I just placed my lace. I used a lace closure net. I just placed my lace closure net on my cap, and then I sewed just for the part where I wanted the side part to be. So I just did that. And if you look at the cap, I actually skipped some part in the middle because I wanted to create my side part. So I just placed that weft beside the side part, and then I still have to fill up the middle. So I just decided to create my side part first before I go back to fill, just to ensure that my hair is enough, and I just don't want the hair to get to be short. So I had to do this just to ensure that I don't overuse the wefts in the wrong places. So while sewing your closure net, all you need to know here is you have to sew it really close, because at the end of this you have to cut the cap under this closure. So you don't want to sew it and you don't sew it well. When you cut off the cap, it starts loosening up or it starts unraveling. So I had to sew this really well. And guys, to sew your weft perfectly, I think, especially when you're using the hand sew method, I think these pins are really gonna help you, because once you place the pin, you can actually sew it perfectly straight in a straight line, because sewing in a straight line actually makes the hair really look nice. guys, the truth is it's not actually easy to sew on the weft itself because the weft is really hard. So some people might just sew on the wig, on the mesh itself, but that depends on you. But if you sew on the weft, I think it's actually going to last longer as compared to you sewing just on the hair itself. But it all depends on you. All is good though. So guys, all I'm doing here is I took out my cap to get out the excess cap under the lace where I sewed the lace, and I'm gonna continue sewing my cap. And remember, at the beginning you have to knot your thread. And also, while sewing your weft around the lace closure or around the lace, make sure you sew the weft really close. Like, you don't have to give out spaces, because if you give out spaces, then it might, in the long run, it might not look natural, or it might start looking funny, or it might just it might it might unravel. So you really have to sew it close. Here I'm actually sewing the weft in an opposite direction, like I'm sewing them towards each other, and that's just because this helps to make the weft, like, it helps to lift the weft up so that it doesn't lay flat on your head. I'm sure you understand what I mean. So it doesn't lay flat, totally flat on your head. So I'm just sewing this in the opposite direction, and when you put it down, you see it's actually high up. So that's the advantage of sewing that way. But if you want your weft, if you want your cap totally flat, then you don't need to do this. You can continue sewing the, like you sew like we're doing earlier. But if you want it to be, if you want it to you want to lift it up a little bit, then you start sewing it up in the opposite direction, like the two wefts facing each other. So right now I'm just filling up the empty space. Guys, don't forget to watch till the end, because I still have a trick that I'm going to use at the top of my head to create my part. So you have to watch the end so you can actually see what I do. Right now I'm actually just filling up the empty spaces at the back that I left, and now I can fill as much as I want, because I know I'm already done with the top of my head. So that's the advantage to this. But if you think you can economize your weft, or if you have enough, you can always just sew till you get to the top before you put your lace net and sew. So guys, what I did here was I doubled my weft. You can actually do this even at the back. It all depends on you. Doubling the weft actually helps to, it makes the work go faster. But you don't have to double, like put the two lines on the same place. You can overlap the weft, like maybe one slightly lower than the other, then you sew in between the two. So guys, we're actually done, and we're trying to close our closure. So to create your side part and to close the closure, all I did was I placed my crochet hook through the line to the back of to the neckline at the back of the line I'm using. That's just like you're seeing the video. You place the crochet hook through the part, through that line, you send it to the back. Then you take the hair from the back, and then you close the hook, and then you pass it now through back to the line you're going to be using, and that's it. This you can actually there are several methods you can actually use for this, but I just found this to be the easiest method, because the other methods, if you don't know how to do it, or even if you know it takes a longer time, you can actually ventilate your net. That's if you can and if you have the time, because ventilation will obviously take longer. So this is actually an easier way to do it, and a really fast way. You don't need any extra anything. So you just place the hook through the line, send it to the back, pull out the hair from the back to the front, and that's it. You can do it for both sides, both the left side and the right side. And you're not really pulling out much hair, you're just pulling out small hair, because if you pull out much hair, it's no longer going to look natural. So guys, like I said, my mom really did not want a really huge line, so the line I made was depending on her choice of lines. And guys, I think that is it for this week. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe. Love you all and have a blessed day.